I am the new guy here, and I hope that you will not avoid the Interfaith service on the basis of the next 7 minutes. Being the new guy, I thought it would be appropriate for me to give you a short introduction. My name is Kevin, and I was born on the opening day of deer season in the year that Elvis died. My father took both of those events very badly. He loved Elvis, but his true love was hunting. As such, firearms were as much a member of our family as my sister and I were for as long as I can remember. Guns hung over the mantle, in the window of the pickup truck, and often around my father's waist. Dad spent a lot of time teaching my sister and I to love and respect firearms. These things will hurt you, he would say. Treat them with respect. And so we did. And we still do. What he did not spend much time teaching us, though, was how to love and respect other people. And that's not to be unexpected. Where I grew up, everyone was white, everyone was middle class, everyone was from there, everyone was Christian, everyone was Republican, everyone was heterosexual, and not necessarily in that order. It's relatively easy to respect other people when everyone is a mirror image of yourself, just with more or less facial hair. My father's difficulty with those who were unlike him bled through in odd ways, like a joke about a particular ethnicity's work ethic, or his rationale for voting a certain way. And the one that was most telling to me, who our family was allowed to have compassion on, and who we were not. In retrospect, perhaps I should give my father just a bit of grace. It's much easier to respect a firearm than it is a person. Disrespect a firearm, you die. Disrespect a person, they die. It's easy to quantify the value of a gun. It's much more difficult to quantify the full value of a person. It took much longer than I care to admit for me to embrace the beauty of those who are unlike me, and even more difficult to embrace those who disagree with me. Truly seeing those who are different from us rather than looking away or ignoring them takes something deep within all of us. It takes intentionality. Celebrating diversity of skin, or diversity of opinion, or diversity of sexual identity, and especially diversity of faith, takes more than just the ability to respect others. Celebrating diversity requires you and I to make a clear choice. It requires us to draw a line in the sand of our hearts and to forbid ourselves to ever go back to a place of narrow-mindedness about other people who are made in the image of God. That immigrant that we speak about, made in the image of God. That gender transitioning person, made in the image of God. That day laborer, made in the image of God. That Jewish person, made in the image of God. Seeing every single living and breathing human being as an image bearer of the divine is a reminder that every single person, no exceptions and no exclusions, has infinite value and infinite worth. And so I want to say to our friends in the Jewish community, you have infinite value to all of us. And we are so sorry that you have been made to feel unsafe in your homes and in your temples and in our shared land. Watching you suffer and your community grieve these last few days has not just been heartbreaking, it has been gut-wrenching for all of us. When you hurt, we hurt. When you suffer, we suffer. And I am here to remind all of us that we are in this together, brothers and sisters, all created by the Creator, equal. And that said, I must admit that I do not pretend to fully understand the grief with which the Jewish community wrestles in the wake of Pittsburgh. Try as I might. I do not pretend to fully comprehend the fear that has settled over your souls these last few days. Try as I might. And I do not pretend to fully grasp the anger that is raging deep within your depths this evening. Try as I might. I can only say that I feel the same on your behalf. In thinking of you these last few days, I have felt grief, I have felt fear, and I have felt anger. And I want to boldly and loudly proclaim, it is not okay. It's not okay that you have been made to wonder whether or not you are safe or supported. It's not okay that one person with a gun has been able to dredge up so much terrible history for you. It is not okay that you have been left wondering and fearful if history will again repeat itself. It's not okay. No one should ever, especially in the land of the free and the home of the brave, be made to feel fear, grief, or anger because of the actions of any one person or group. There is a single word for this kind of godless treatment, and that is hate. Hate is the end result of fear and grief and anger that are left unchecked, that are allowed to run amok. Hate is a poison that destroys the person who is infected by it. That means that all of us, each and every one of us, must find healthy ways to process and let go of our fear, our grief, and our anger, or risk becoming people of hate ourselves. Hatred is lethal. And as a man of the cloth, I must confess that I know only one antidote to hatred in any of its lethal forms. The antidote to hatred for me is best represented by a Jewish person whom you may or may not have heard of. Now, I know I might be crossing a line here, Rabbi, but I've seen the antidote to hate so clearly in the life of a single Jewish person that I want to tell you about them right now. Dr. Katz, a pediatrician just down the road, happens to be Jewish. Wait, who did you think I was going to say? Dr. Katz is a pediatrician just down the road who just so happens to be Jewish. And she's unlike my family in so many ways. But she has shown my family love in a million small ways. She could have seen my skin color or my religious faith and devalued me. She could have said, they're white, he's a man, they're Christian, he and his family are not worth my time or my help. But because she looked beyond our differences and had a willingness to do so, she has quite literally saved the life of my child through her gifts. Another Jewish doctor just up the road from her has helped me get control of a particularly nasty autoimmune disease that I suffer with. Gally has done more than just teach my family how to masterfully cook desserts and show hospitality. She's allowed us to cry on her shoulder through our most difficult moments here these last few years, and in a way that only she can, continues to say, get over it, that's nothing. Alon has shown me strength and wisdom and resilience and friendship, and there are so many other Jewish godsends in this community to my family, to my church, and to this community. I want every Jewish person within the sound of my voice to hear this clearly. This community is a better place for your presence in it. And we are all better people because of you. Not because of what you do for us, but simply for who you are. People of infinite worth and value, bearing the image of God Himself. And so we will stand beside you when necessary, and in front of you when necessary, and behind you when necessary. Arms locked, together, facing whatever may come. You are more than neighbors. You are more than friends. We are family. As my mother lay in labor and my father sat in sadness, on October 14th, 1977, a song was released on the radio that day whose music echoed around the halls of the maternity ward when I first drew breath. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Utopia couldn't possibly have said it any better. They picked up on a command from God Himself in the Torah's 10 sayings, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus, picking that idea up, restated it in John 13 and said simply, love one another. Love one another. Those are wise words, and I wonder if you might say them with me. Love one another. Once again, love one another. Once again, love one another. Once again, love one another. And when you feel afraid, when you've lost your way, when you're all alone, when you're far from home, when you're down and out, when all hopes run out, when you need a friend, and when you're near the end.
Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer.
Father Wesler Hilaire.